I'm Deborah Borchar, and this is your midday market update. Well, earlier this day, the market was in red territory because we got some manufacturing numbers that they didn't like. Felt like it was showing some weak signs in the economy. But of course, every time we have any kind of selling, the buyers jump right back in. I'm here with Mark Newton from Greywolf. So, I mean, we don't even get to go down hardly anything before buyers come back.
No, we're in this parabolic stage of the rally where nothing really matters. Even if it's economic news or macro events, bad news, the market goes up news, good positive news, the market goes higher. There's a few interesting things that happened just in the last couple of weeks that are worth noting. One is that the fact the U.S. dollar has started to rise meaningfully up to new monthly highs against a lot of the different majors and also the emerging market currencies. So that's had a deteriorating effect on the euro, and that might be something to watch as a potential catalyst if it continues to go lower. But for the time being, there's a partial shift back also into these defensive sectors also that just happened over the last couple of days. So sectors like consumer staples and utilities and healthcare that have gotten beaten up are now starting to show signs of bottoming out. They've been the best sectors so far year to date, and over the last few weeks they've been the worst, but now they're starting to bottom out and actually show better relative strength. And so that is also interesting and different than what you'd expect in simply a pure risk-on type scenario.
But that's not really a call on the market and the economy. That's more, it sounds like a valuation trade.
Not at all. I mean, it's very difficult to pinpoint any sort of peak in the market at this point. There are a number of different technical negatives that still exist, but nothing really matters until price actually respects that and turns to the downside. And for the time being, the trend is up. We're overbought. We've moved up literally 16 in the last 18 trading days, 7% in the last 3 weeks. If you look at where the market bottomed out last November, we moved up nearly 24% in 25 weeks' time. So it's almost 1% average gains a week, which is incredible. These kind of times are good. They feel good, but they don't last. They never last. But it's important not to stand in the way. You have to participate. You have to be involved. Technology continues to be a sector that I think is favorable, good risk reward, is showing signs of bottoming out. Not necessarily Apple, which obviously has been pulling back a bit.
Yeah, but we've seen that with Cisco. Cisco, definitely pushing the market higher. Tesla, not a tech stock, but pushing NASDAQ higher.
That's true. So I think at this point you have to be selective, you have to be involved, but the risk reward is not great at this stage of the rally. Can we move into the end of the month without pulling back? I'm skeptical if that happens, but you look at the trends of post-election year seasonality. Typically the market will peak out, it'll rally into late spring, early summer, and over the last 100 years the market on average has peaked in July during post-election years. My thinking is that also can be the case, but I'm not certainly picking a top by any means at this point. The trend is bullish. We're overbought, but you have to stick with it, and until we get some signs of deterioration, the economic news might be poor. And it's funny, you look at the covers of The Economist that say Wall Street is back, but yet the economic news gets worse and worse and worse. In the European Union, they've experienced 6 consecutive quarters now of recession. HSBC is laying off 40,000 people. So there's a big disconnect between the sentiment and trying to get a real grasp as to whether people are really bullish now, which it appears that are getting more and more complacent caused by this rally, but are things really getting better? The economy obviously is bad enough where the Fed continues to use QE and ramp it up and gives no indication of any tapering, but yet the market goes up every single day. It goes up and up and up and no sign of deterioration. So we certainly are in interesting times here.
All right, well, who knows? We may see that peak coming in July. Right now, so far, we have not seen that sell and may go away take place. That's Mark Newton from Greywolf, and I'm Deborah Borchar with The Street.